Warm-ups underway in our second men's doubles semifinal of the day. Noah Eagle and Morgan Evans here with you on Tennis Channel. Glad that you could join us today for what has been a special event here on TC. Second time that we have pickleball, and first time around it was great in Orlando. This one even better because there's no rain, or at least, you know what, I shouldn't say it, right? I'm going to knock on as much wood as very possible.
Yeah. You know the power we've got.
I know, we've got unmistakable power, clearly, that we've already proven today. J.W. Johnson, Dylan Frazier, they've got plenty of power. They've got plenty of hand speed as well. Johnson now 20 years old. They're a younger duo based on just age, but the experience is there. They've played in big matches, and we're going to see them up against a very formidable foe on the other side, Collin and AJ Koller, who've got a number of titles to their name.
Yeah, for sure. J.W. Johnson and Dylan Frazier, they're one of the only teams in history that have beaten the dominant duo of Ben and Collin Johns. So they have the metal to be able to do serious damage. Let's see if they can do it now. Johnson just missing that cross-court backhand dink. Giving the quick side out. Collin Johns, the best right side player in the game.
His brother Ben, who is considered the cream of the crop of the sport, potentially the greatest who has played the sport, not at this tournament, currently in Europe, and doing a whole lot for the pickleball community in the process.
He's spreading the word. There's no doubt. He's doing camps, three camps out in Portugal at the moment, and he'll be over in Croatia fairly soon, finishing the month there, and he'll be back to check on the sport. I'm sure his game will still be up to scratch.
Nearly unstoppable.
Collin Johns alongside AJ Koller today will be waiting patiently.
And not a bad replacement to have.
No.
If Ben Johns isn't available, AJ Koller as a partner, just about as good as it gets.
Yeah, fantastic. And you'll see some of the quickest hands on the planet from AJ Koller. And
right
that
on cue.
Wrist flick.
Yeah.
He holds the paddle just behind the ball, convincing his opponents that it's likely just going to be a dink, nothing to worry, and then flicks it through your soul. All right, great exchange in the end. Fast ball through the middle, catching the top of the paddle from Johnson. Quick side out.
Koller misses long, so it'll be 1-0-2 now.
Nice work there from Koller, catching Frazier in transition.
What is it about the Johns family that just makes them so dynamic? Obviously, we just heard from Hannah Johns, did a great job on the post-match interview after our first semifinal, but these two brothers are just so dynamic on the court, so difficult to stop.
Well, funny story, the thing that makes Ben and Collin the best is the fact that they don't actually play pickleball. And I'll explain what I mean after this next point. I hosted a Q&A thing with Ben 3 or 4 months ago, and one of the questions from the audience was, how often do you play? How often do you drill? And Ben quite equivocally said, I don't play pickleball. I only drill. 100%. And he has Collin Johns as his #1 and only drilling partner. So it is a classic case of iron sharpening iron.
Sure.
And them using their time as wisely as possible.
Interesting.
The practice you get when you're just drilling one-on-one with a great player is far superior to having a good time, you know, a couple of hits and giggles on the doubles court. See see Collin Jones threading the needle down the line there to J.W. Johnson.
What is a typical pickleball drill? What would that look like if you're drilling yourself, you're going through the ringer, and certainly when he's going through and running these camps, what type of stuff are you doing?
Hey, a lot of it is the bread and butter stuff, cross-court, dinks, forehand to forehand, backhand to backhand, figuring out how you can stay alive and play more and more aggressive dinks. I'm a huge fan of skinny singles. It kind of replicates the game of doubles as well as possible, but without the hindrance of a person next to you. And they're often just getting in the way, you know.
Sure.
Ben could do very well just by himself half the time. But head on over to YouTube. You'll find all kinds of drills. I hear CoachMePickleball.com is very good.
I wonder why.
You got to throw a shameless plug in here once in a while, right?
We all have one.
Koller again using that beautiful flick forehand, getting it high to the JW forehand.
He's also got great coordination on his outfit.
You're absolutely right, yeah. However, he forgot to stop in transition. And if I was to advise your average viewer, if you see your opponent contacting the ball, it's a good time to slow your roll, and you'll have a great chance to be able to control that next ball, as opposed to careening through, like AJ Koller just showed. Nice whip-like hands from Koller again. Beautiful stuff.
Johnson and Frazier, the 6th seed, so to speak, in this draw, got past the 3. That was a tightly contested one. Jay DeVilliers and Tyson McGuffin. That's a great duo to get to this point.
Yeah, Johnson and Frazier, their seeding does not reflect their levels. They haven't always played together, and not always in these particular kinds of tournaments. So trust me when I tell you they're going to be in a lot of finals. Big forehand from Frazier, from Johnson, my apologies.
Some of that hand speed on full display. First semifinal, tightly contested the entire way. This one already beginning and looking like it's going to be the same deal. Johns and Koller up early, but Johnson and Frazier finding a rhythm in this first game. Here on Tennis Channel, we've got plenty more to come. Frazier serving 2-4 in this first game. This pair of 20-year-olds, they have been a problem on the pickleball tour, and they will be long-time success stories when it's all said and done. Dylan, a rising junior at Missouri. Go Tigers.
Oh, he had everything he wanted out of that forehand. Fortunately, this regulation height net got involved. So Collin Jones to serve to J.W. Johnson. Yeah, a little aggressive there. However, if there's one chance to be aggressive on returns of serve, it's that 4th, possibly 6th ball, just to keep your opponents back, possibly avoid them ever getting to the kitchen line and leveling that playing field.
Aggression starting to pick up a little bit, certainly for Johns and Koller, as they've taken a 6-3 advantage.
The magic hands of Johnson getting involved there.
3-6-1.
Just slaps that ball down so quickly.
Another one of those sneak attacks. So good at that. Koller just does a great job of disguising it.
It's amazing. He gets the whole body behind the ball, stabilizes the paddle, and is able to play those shots on such a high level of balance that it's very accurate. Frazier, unassuming by nature, but hand speed is just phenomenal. And a really good singles player. He and Johnson right up there in the top 5-6 players. Frazier, you'll see him twirl the paddle no less than 14 to 16,000 times over the course of a day. Understanding just the impact that centrifugal forces play on an onyx paddle.
There you go.
Read it like a children's novel. Well done, AJ Koller.
Only if that children's novel was Hello Moon. As he said good night.
Ooh, that foot looked like it might have caught the line.
That was close.
Yeah. And that flick catches Frazier. You wouldn't know it though. He seems like he's still out for a daily stroll.
Oh, to be 20.
Not a care in the world.
Yeah.
Koller trying to just reach into the cookie jar there.
5-7-1.
And a little bit of controversy, some chat during the point where I think everyone thought that ball wasn't going over.
We're going to replay that point.
Oh, and it's a replay.
It was the referee correction.
You heard the referee say
yeah.
she called it a point before it landed.
My error.
Yeah, and you can't deduct the points from the referees. Unfortunately, still not.
Maybe that's a
in the
rule for
rules.
future.
Sorry.
She apologizes. Refs are humans, just like the rest of us. And they do a wonderful job. And a ball's on the court, so we will hope for a third time's a charm for this particular point.
Either that or this point will go on for the entire match.
Who knows? Who knows?
5-7-1.
Incredible hand speed from Johnson.
6-7-1.
According to the Duper ratings these two teams have, Johnson and Frazier do have a 54% chance to win.
Team 7-7-1.
Shout out to Jill Braverman for supplying that information.
Absolutely. And clearly on the money because it's been pretty much 50-50 to this point. 7 up in this first game. Johnson and Frazier making their comeback on Tennis Channel. Beautiful stuff, both on and off the court in Orange County, California, San Clemente. And the Pro Pickleball Association just continuing to skyrocket. The game itself only growing stronger by the day in the Select Medical Orange County Cup with our second and final men's doubles semifinal. Winner of this one moves on with the right to play Matt Riley or excuse me, Matt Wright and Riley Newman in the final tomorrow, and which should be an action-packed day for us here on Tennis Channel. I'm very much looking forward to Final Sunday.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
We got all 5 finals, men's and women's doubles and singles, mixed doubles.
And that ball just sailing along. Giving back the serve to Johnson Koller.
Tightly contested first game here. Both teams now 3 points away from putting themselves 1 game away from that final spot. Koller just didn't put enough on it. The defense turned to offense in a blink.
Unbelievable stuff. We often talk about Riley Newman being the best defensive player in the game, but I've said it before, Collin Johns is right up there. He shows exactly why.
Great foresight.
Yep.
1 point away from this first game.
I'm going to remember, this is a chance for J.W. Johnson to give himself a look at the Triple Crown tomorrow. He's in the singles final against Tyson McGuffin, and he's in the mixed doubles final alongside Annalie Waters versus Wright and Kovalova. If he can pull it off, I tell you, we may see a star being born.
Could be the beginning of something special, no doubt about it. J.W. Johnson become a family affair for him as well. His younger sister starting to play professional pickleball, and this could absolutely be a seminal moment for him in his career, as they have continued to tighten the stranglehold between these two.
Just missed that one, so they've leveled the scores, tied it up at 10.
It is win by 2.
And we've got a ball on the court. And Frazier again caught in transition, moving through that, looking for an opportunity to an attack. However, at 10-10, just sprays wide off the paddle of Johnson. So once again, Johns and Koller have a look at game 1.
Game 1 goes to Johns and Koller. They battle through, tightly contested, 12-10. Johns and Koller 1 game away. Tremendous back and forth. 2 teams worthy of a spot in the final. Only one will get it on Tennis Channel. 3 of our 5 finals set for tomorrow. All the live coverage here on Tennis Channel beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern. Tyson McGuffin, top seed without Ben Johns present at the tournament. J.W. Johnson, then Annalie Waters, the 15-year-old sensation against Paris Todd, Kovalova, and Wright. That is a team to be reckoned with. Both have been awesome. We'll take on Waters and Johnson, who is trying to, as Morgan said, go for the triple crown if he can find a win here. And how about that point to start the second game?
Wow. If that's anything to go by, then game 2 is going to set the roof on fire. Just love how well Koller stays stable. Nice low, wide base.
I really don't know how they do it. I don't know how they call it so quickly. That thing's coming at you fast. You got to make a split-second decision.
Yeah, I mean, the first port of call is trying to figure out the angle in which it's coming up over the net.
Right.
Then you've got to look at the momentum of the paddle, the momentum of the body weight transfer, and then your knowledge of the player itself and how much power that person possesses. You do that math in your head within a quarter of a second, and you hope for the best.
You've got to be a human calculator.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just all happens organically, you know, in the same way that pickleball players, tennis players are wonderful at just reading body language. It always kind of looks like they're not moving that fast. The fact is they're just moving early.
Or the quick reaction from Johnson and Frazier, what they do best at the kitchen line.
Stands straight up and slap the ball down.
Nonchalant.
Yes. He's never even had anything chalant in his day, really. He's taken a few more chances, though, Dylan Frazier. He's known for his counter-punching more so than his initial attacks. And Johnson trying his hand at a Koller-esque flick attack, this time off the backhand, and catching Koller in the chin, thereabouts. Oh, yeah, little sweet chin music. Still, nothing doing.
Yeah, listen, it always will feel better if you get a win.
And that redirected ball from Frazier just popping up high enough for Koller to do some real damage. I do like his tactic, though. He's playing a lot of middle dinks. And the team of Collin Johns and AJ Koller, they are a brand new team. They've never played a tournament together before.
Goes back to that conversation from earlier of that knowledge playing against each other for so many years now, having such a realization of what each other does well and maybe some of the weaknesses.
Yeah, no, certainly. It's that middle area where you can get some divorce balls. Look like that counter punch from Johnson stays inside. Great work, great hands.
Watch this drop right on the line.
CJ putting it down well.
2-2-2.
And Koller spraying that overhead, unfortunately. One of the few players that doesn't really come from a strong tennis background. He's a hockey player by nature.
Couple of uncharacteristic errors have opened this one up now. 4-0 in this second game.
Set it up.
If Frazier can tighten up on some of these third balls and his work in transition, Johnson and Frazier could really be running away with this.
Did such a good job, Collin Johns, of getting to that smash, and then the simpler one up the middle. Or error. Johnson and Frazier locked in to start this second game. They have not missed a beat to this point.
So they'll have a second chance here to keep rolling towards game 2. And a good looking put away. Frazier getting to the outside of CJ.
Sails out, so a little bit surprising that Johns and Koller haven't used their timeout yet. Down now 0-5-1. First point on the board.
Yeah, the team of Johns and Johns, typically playing together, Ben and Collin, very rarely ever felt the need to call a timeout. Koller starting to get a little fired up.
And now some momentum, 3 straight points.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team with already some confidence coming into game 2. This could be enough to really start the fire. And even more, although a good catch from J.W. Johnson. Not a lot of points for that.
Showing off some of his inter-sport skill. But the 4 straight points has gotten this one nearly deadlocked once again. That first game, it was neck and neck the entire way. And now we are all even at 5.
They're targeting Frazier, but he's performed well in a bunch of very good sharp attacks in the counterpunch realm. And beautiful work, JW finding the middle. And I do hope that Dylan Frazier is looking a lot at how Collin Johns plays on the right side, because it is generally a masterclass for right side players to look at. And you see the dangers of having to unwind a stack there, where one player is determined to stay on the right side, however has to return from the opposite side, trying to quickly get into position. If you've got a good driver of the ball, as is J.W. Johnson, a very proficient offensive player with those third balls, they can really catch that player in transition and make that first volley very difficult. Frazier just a little disappointed with the control of that forehand dink. Just lifting it up, and AJ Koller more than enough length to put power on that ball.
Just staying patient. And Johnson and Koller have taken their first lead of this second game.
Yeah, nothing flashy. Just putting in the hard work, keeping the ball going, putting consistent pressure on the paddle of Frazier especially, and then attacking where need be. Great work.
Johnson and Koller have won 7 of the last 8 points. Johnson and Frazier take the time on Tennis Channel. Still to come, we've got 2 women's doubles semifinals. The Waters mother-daughter duo, Lee and Annalie, taking on Parento and Jansen, followed by Kovalova and Smith against Irvin and Newman. Should be tremendous. The top 4 seeds, it was all of them advancing to this particular spot and hoping to book their ticket into the final tomorrow at the Orange County Cup. But we still have 1 more score to settle on the men's side. Johnson Koller now just 4 points away from a spot in the final. Winner of this one moves on to take on Matt Wright, Riley Newman, who got past Tyler Leung, and Callan Dawson in our first semifinal of the day.
Yeah, they're doing it by the book. They've got a clear and effective strategy. Right now, they're looking like they're sailing smoothly. So we'll see if Johnson and Frazier can make the changes. I think Johnson's going to have to start getting a little more involved if they want a good chance. And there he tries, but that's the sign of the pressure that Koller and Johns have been able to put on Frazier. The net getting involved, popping up nicely. And Frazier does have incredibly quick hands.
Look at just beautiful put away right down the middle. That was big.
And he almost drops to the ground in disbelief, pleading to the heavens for the net to be slightly lower. Frazier trying to get that 2-hander over, although they do have a second chance. Nice little flick attack.
This is a nice recovery as well from Johnson and Frazier, who had lost 8 of 9 points, now gotten it back to within 1.
It's often when he's just redirecting, it's either a kind of a miscalculation of just how long AJ Koller can be. Great power and direction, finding the outside of Koller. So often in those situations, players are anticipating a middle attack, and as they say, down the middle solves the riddle, but the riddle has changed.
Koller makes up for it, now 2 points away. Work at the kitchen line. Oh, yes.
That's the kind of fire we came to see from AJ Koller. Getting in there, rattling it around, able to handle some serious counter punches, eventually coming away with the goods.
Match point. There it is. Collin Johns and AJ Koller, the #2 seed, into the final of the Orange County Cup.
And they did it so well. They had some real adversity in game 1 especially. Johnson and Frazier have fantastic hands. They bring so much offense and counter-punching ability, but in the end, a war of attrition was what came out.
Certainly a battle in both of our men's semifinal matchups. But eventually it's the top 2 seeds as Johns and Koller are through to Sunday. We knew this match was going to be highly entertaining, highly explosive at times. With A.J. Koller on the court, the energy's always going to be high. And him and Collin Johns, first time playing together, are into the final as we go to Hannah Johns.
Well, welcome back to semifinal Saturday. I've got our second set of finalists right here, A.J. Koller, Collin Johns. You know, they say all the time pickleball is a game of runs, and we saw a few of those in game 2. How do you create a run or shut down a run?
I don't know. I love playing next to Siege. I mean, we've been talking all week. Obviously, there's no way I can fill the shoes of his little brother, but he's been coaching me up for a week to try and do my best impersonation. So that's all I'm trying to do out here.
Well, yeah, touching on that, you're used to playing with your brother and AJ with your cousin, a family affair, but you're out here today for the first time partnering up together. What are some of the difficulties of that?
Of course, it comes with difficulties, but I think our games meshed really well. So we worked out the kinks early on, and it's a learning process, but I feel like our games are really suited to each other, and we're going to carry that into the final.
Well, you guys just took down a team of the youngsters of pickleball. They're new, they're young, but you guys are veterans of the sport. How have you seen pickleball evolve over the last few years?
Yeah, I mean, there's younger and younger guys getting in, and J-Dub and Dill are certainly at the top of that list. You know, congrats to them on a great day. It's a tough team, and it's a tough team to break down. When they're young, they have so much confidence. They're just like, it's kind of like this blind confidence, and so, you know, life's kind of cut me down for enough over the years. So, great team, though. I mean, a lot of young players getting in, so it's making it tougher and tougher.
Well, guys, congratulations. We'll see you on Championship Sunday. Good luck.